Down. What's up, everybody? Mr. Dan here, talking about some of my favorite physical media editions today. Just give me 1 second. We'll see if anyone pops in. If not, I'm going to go rather quick. I'm probably going to go rather quick regardless. I hope the lighting's all right in here. I just messed with it. Threw a cloth over that door because the sun was hitting it. Looked like the sun was going supernova out there. Yeah, so what I wanted to do is just go over some of my surprises that I've stumbled upon since I really started collecting physical media. I've always picked up the odd VHS tape or way back in the day, or DVD or what have you. But I never really got into it until after I started the channel. I'm a fan of the boutique labels, and I'll get something that's new from Arrow or something if it appeals to me. But I'm also a big fan of bargain hunting, eBay and Dark Star Records and Whatnot. I haven't really got into Whatnot yet, but I want to check that out. What's up, Echo? How are you? Hope you're doing well. And before I begin, I just want to mention some people are coming up on some milestones. Hardcat Dad, hey, what's up? Hey, Larry. Just because you're here, Larry, I'm going to show you something in a minute. Hold on a second. Here's some milestones because I've got it hidden around the corner. I'm like, I need to rearrange my room. Here's some milestones. Some of you noticed that JT has passed 1,000 subs. JT's horror channel. See, I can't speak when I'm doing a live stream, but JT, okay? JT's horror reviews, I believe. Oh no, excuse me. Sorry, I'm premature. He's at 902. He just passed 900, but he's heading to 1,000. So he'll be there pretty soon. Hobbs is at 2.05, so he's over 2,000 now. So that's awesome. I don't know if he mentioned that or not, but that's a great milestone. Jinja Ninja is over 550. He's at Jinja Ninja JK. He's at 560 now. Ian Hill, The Ramblings, over in the UK. He just passed 700. He had a stream the other day. He's at 708. And Tony, he changed his channel name, but now it's Tony's Retro Classic Movies and Blu-rays. He's at 224. So we can get him to 225. And I'm coming up on, what am I coming up on? 400 pretty soon. And I also have a video I'm going to talk about because I'm going to show it. It's coming up on 10,000 views. So it'll be my second one. The first one being that Godzilla out of the theater reaction, which seems to have ground to a halt. The other one is it's like 100 views a day, and it's still going. So it's and apparently it's big in Vietnam from what the analytics say, which is I don't know. But anyway, let me show you something, Larry. Hold on a sec. Hey, Jason, thanks for stopping by. I know Larry's a big Creature fan. I did make a video about this a while ago. This is from Monster Resurrection. Monster Kids for Life. I think the young guy I think it's a family business, and they had like their 13-year-old involved in the process. He's older now, of course, but that's pretty cool. I got to get that out front and center. But thanks for stopping in, everybody. Yeah, a lot of you guys in the chat, like I've picked up a whole bunch of movies just based on Jason's recommendation. That's for sure. Love the Creature. Yeah, who doesn't love the Creature? I got. Well, he's over there. I got got a couple Creature figures. Oh, okay, never mind. My wife got a phone call. Anyway, yeah, I just want to talk about some of the things that I've picked up because I started the channel that have surprised me, things that have been just great physical media releases, movies that I never heard of, great recommendations, things that have surprised me. And we'll start off with The Fly box set. I used to see this on the shelf. People that had significant collections like John Ellsworth, Project Ellsworth, I would see this in the back. And I went to FYE, and it was pretty cheap. It's probably even a little cheaper now. I've seen it's relatively cheap. I mean, huge fan of The Fly. I saw the original in the movie theater a while ago with Victoria Price, Vincent Price's daughter. She did a Q&A after it. But I remember The Fly and Return of the Fly. And then I saw Cronenberg's The Fly in the theater when I was in high school. Loved that. That's one of my favorites. So to get this box set and really get into it, and then to see The Curse of the Fly, which I didn't really remember, which was interesting. It's not great. I'll talk about it next month when we get to Franchise Frenzy Part 3s. And then to finally, I had a thing against The Fly too, because I heard it, obviously, is it going to be as good as The Fly? No. So for decades, it's weird for me to say that, but for decades, I just put it off. So then I know they talked about it on the Night Watch Zone. So then I went in blind, and, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I went back and watched all the special features. It was like a time machine going back to when, Daphne Zuniga was still young. And I didn't even know John Getz was in it. I was like, oh, how about that? That was a surprise. Let's see what we got here. Al, hey, what's up, Al? The Fly is Fly. Yes, he is. The Fly box set is going out of print. You got to get it, guys. Got to get it. It's so cool. Gotta get The Fly. Come on. Yeah, things going out of print. Something else is going out of print, and from Scream Factory, but I have an order coming. So I was like, I'm probably just gonna have to let it go. I forgot what it was. It wasn't something like huge, but I got the double feature of, I could have easily included that in my discussion. I got the double feature of Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, and When You Race with the Devil. Yeah. Because I heard that was going out of print. So that was one of the rare times I ordered a single movie, because usually I'll save up and I'll go to Dark Side or I think like Dark Side Records, and they'll be like, well, if you spend $10 more, you get free shipping. So, it's like, yeah, okay. Omen box set is going out of print as well. Okay, cool. Did not know that. I have to watch the third one. I'm not doing that one for Franchise Frenzy, but I did enjoy part 2. I saw that for the first time a while ago, or for the first time in a while. Crazy Larry. New name for you, Larry. Yeah. Anyway, Fly box set. I enjoyed the heck out of that. Next, I know Jason and Joe, the Horror Man, they were doing the Universal month, and Universal Mayhem. I can't remember what it was, but talking about all those, and I see my logo. I mean, I got the big Blu-ray set of all of them. My little thumbnail for the channel. So I grew up on these movies, but I never, the channel encouraged me to go back and watch all the sequels, even though about 10 years ago I went through a phase and I watched a lot of the sequels. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I went and got the Wolfman Legacy set. Awesome. 3 movies. I got the Dracula Legacy set, which I believe has Spanish Dracula. No, it doesn't. I got another Dracula with Spanish Dracula. It should have the Spanish Dracula. Really should. But still, awesome. 4 movies. Those are honorable mentions. But the one that I really got into, The Invisible Man. Number 1. Yeah, the Legacy sets are awesome. They do such a service. You can watch all the... Because it does get confusing. And I know, Al, you're a big fan of Universal Monsters. It gets confusing. Which, Frankenstein and the Werewolf, which, what would you, which Legacy set would you put this movie in, and which one would you put that movie in? Anyway, this I remembered from watching it as a child. I wasn't as excited when this came on TV as I was like when the Wolfman. I remembered it being pretty funny. Well, yeah, there are funny parts when the landlady sees him and runs out and stuff, but man, Claude Rains, what a villain he is in the original. Man, what a good movie. And then the fact that there are 4 sequels, I had no idea. I vaguely thought there was a sequel or 2. But to have, let's see what we got here. To have, okay, Invisible Man, this too. The Invisible Man Returns. Let's see, was that with Price? That's with Price? I think that's with Price. They have been, I never got the joke at the end of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Or, yeah, with Vincent Price as the Invisible Man. I was like, that doesn't fit because everyone else is Universal, but it does, actually, because he was the Invisible Man. Una O'Connor, that's the name of that lady. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Vincent Price, yeah, Invisible Man Returns with Vincent Price. One of those sequels, almost as good, I say. Okay. I don't know if these are the order they came out in, but then Invisible Woman. Okay. All right. So this one's the comedy one. If you're in the mood for a comedy one, no, this is the one. And it's got Shem Howard in it. And then you got The Invisible Agent. Okay. It's a product of its time. There's some World War II propaganda. That was going to happen. You have a character that can turn invisible, and World War II is getting ready to start, or had already started, 1942. So that was just going to happen. But you got John Hall is in it. Okay, I'll more about him in a moment. He plays it pretty. He's like the hero, the good guy hero. And then you got Peter Lorre. So always great to see him. And then The Invisible Man's Revenge. John Hall comes back. And a totally different kind of character. And when you watch both of them, you appreciate how good he was. And I wasn't really familiar with him as an actor. But yeah, that was really good. John Carradine, Evelyn Ankers. I thought that one was almost as good as the first one. You know what I mean? So a great original film, 2 solid sequels, a fun sequel, and a comedy sequel. I mean, what a great legacy set. Dracula. Yep. Yeah, the order gets wacky. Yes. It's like I can't. I love those Cinemassacre videos when he breaks it down. I just made a video, and I haven't, about Hammer Frankenstein series, because when I got to the third one, it occurred to me that you have some continuity issues, and it reminded me of the Universal movies. So I talk about that in an upcoming video. But next, sometimes you find real gold at Dollar Tree. You're going to find a DVD or a Blu-ray, or sometimes both in this, but Charles Bronson, Murphy's Law. There's nothing in it. It's just a DVD, but it's a Bronson movie I hadn't seen. I thought it was pretty good. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. I think it's canon, right? I'm pretty sure it was a canon. Has that feel to it. It's got some good people in it. And it also kind of caused me to think to myself, hey, what other Bronson movies haven't I seen? And I'm still going. I'm still seeing some really great ones that I haven't seen. Just watched Death Hunt the other day. What a movie. Okay. It was foreshadowing the coming of Alucard. Yes. You guys are cracking me up. Next. Spur of the moment from Target. I think it was Target. I shouldn't have gotten this one because I think if you look, I think you could see a crack somewhere. Or at the time when I took it home, there was a piece rattling around. It's got the hinges. So I should have gotten the one behind it, but nevertheless, Night Gallery, the whole Night Gallery season. Or should I say 99.99% of the episodes. There's one episode that's not on here, I don't think. It's got Agnes Moorehead in it. It's the witches one, because sometimes at the end they would have these little 1 or 2 minute comedy things that are not universally liked, and they used to swap those out sometimes on syndication. So I don't think that one's on here, but from what I've heard, it's dreadful. But anyway, this used to come on at like 11:30 at night. The opening used to scare me as a kid with the masks and everything and the music. Nevertheless, I did force myself to stay up and watch a few episodes, like 3 or 4. That's it. And then years later, it was on Sci-Fi Channel, I think. And I watched some more, but I was unfamiliar with like 80% of the episodes. So that was great to go through all those. One of the ones I watched was called The Caterpillar. And I showed it to my son a while ago. And he was like, yeah, that was pretty gruesome. That scared me as a kid. It's about an earwig that goes in Lawrence Harvey's brain. But they call it a caterpillar. It's why I think I was confused about which one that was, but man, it was great to go back and revisit that. I got a lot of it wrong. I thought it was like a Cold War thing with the Soviet Union or something. It's not set. Totally different setting. It's like a tropical setting. Yeah, that's a great one. That is a great one. Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection. What's up? Just because you're here, Mike. Next one, film noir set. How about that for timing? Check out Mike's channel, guys. If you're into film noir, I've really gotten back into them a lot. You guys got to let me know when you're going to get your Thursday night stream going again, Mike. I missed that. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, one of these days we'll have to talk about some more film noir because I've got some sets and I'm not even sure. I know the other day you were like on the fence about whether, it was that Bogart film with Gloria Graham, whether it was film noir or not. I know what you mean. Like sometimes I'm not really sure. Anyway, this set, In the Shadows. I forget where I got this. Yes, it's a Mill Creek set. The quality varies. Having said that, it's not like I spent a lot of money on it. I don't regret getting it. There's been a few times where I'll stop. I'll go to Tubi. If it's on Tubi and it looks better, I'll watch it. There's been a few times where the copy on Tubi looks just as bad. And then some of the copies aren't that bad. But these are all fun. You got Suddenly with Frank Sinatra. I watched that on another compilation. I haven't watched that yet. Trapped with Lloyd Bridges. It's great to see some of these guys when they're young. Wait a minute. What's the one? Too Late for Tears with Dan Duria. I've really come to appreciate him. One of these has Fear in the Night with DeForest Kelley, a young DeForest Kelley. So I'm watching that, and he's standing on the side, and someone else is talking, and I see one of his eyebrows go up, just like Bones McCoy. It just cracked me up. But yeah, some of these I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched Scarlet Street yet. He Walked by Night with Richard Basehart. That was a good one. And it's got Detour on it. Detour. That's got to be top 5, right? Film noirs. I mean, I think 68 minutes. I mean, it goes by. A lot of these go by. So a fun set. Again, not super high quality, but it got my creative juices going. Hey, Mayan. Where's Mayan? Oh, hey, Mayan. How are you? Yeah, Tales from the Dark Side theme was a creepy one. Yep. Yeah, the Night Gallery theme. It's that Gilbert, I think his name was Gil Mele. He was one of the first guys to really get into electronic music. He does a TV movie called In a Cold Night. Some people think the movie The Thing took the atmosphere from it a little bit, even though not the original story, because it's set in a cold place, but it opens up with this creepy electronic music. Sorry if you guys can hear my wife. She's on the phone. But yeah, that music scared me. Tales from the Dark Side, great theme. Now it's funny because my friend, the Mad Bloods in Australia, he got a whole set which I eventually got, okay? But his had an awesome cover. And when he opened it up, this was one of them. So apparently that set has been broken up because this was season 2. I got this from like Hamilton Books or something. And I just, then when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I gotta get the whole series. A lot of nostalgia. Tales from the Dark Side. That opening and closing, great. Got some great Tom Savini episodes. I know Jason did a couple for I think around Halloween. Yeah, the 2 Halloween themed episodes. The one with the Tom Savini little creature, the Trick or Treat one. That's a good one. Oh, I got a thing to get out of the way. Oh, Queen Mayan into House. Yes. Love Dan Dury. Yeah. See, I really, and again, my friends, the Mad Bloods, they did a whole, kind of like the way Al does his Titans of Horror series. They did a little video about him called Gone But Not Forgotten. So I had seen him in a couple film noirs. Even the Hammer one. If I can find it in 10 seconds, I'll show it to you. Yep, here we go. I just got this Hammer film noir because Hammer did a lot of film noir before they really got into horror. and he was in one called Terror Street. And I read about him, and they said, usually he's the villain, and his delivery, you could tell. And then I recently watched Sahara with Bogart. I had never seen it. He was like the perfect right-hand man in that. Yeah, he was so good. Okay, there's a thing. Get out of here, thing. There's a thing that's stopping me from seeing the last comment. But anyway, as you guys comment, I'll comment on your comments. Next. Next, stumbled upon, I know, Kino had put this, Kino put this out, and a week later, it was at FYE, Kolchak the Night Stalker, which I hadn't seen when it originally came out. I was aware of it. I used to hear Chris, I want to say Chris Columbus, but the X-Files creator was obviously influenced by the Night Stalker, and then eventually got Darren McGavin to appear on the show. And then they had both. They had the Night Strangler. So I went back like a week later, thinking that's not going to be there. I was thinking I should have got both of them. I went back a week later, and they still had it, and they had reduced it in price. So I got pretty lucky there. It was like getting the price reduced even with no shipping, And then I had heard mixed things from critics, but why do I listen to critics? And then I saw someone review Basic Autumn Queen, who doesn't do much on YouTube anymore, but she did a video about it, and I thought she was going to talk about the movies, and she talked about the series, and I was like, you know what? I got to get the series. It's got all kinds of great guest stars. So I've been meaning to get into that. I've only seen a few episodes, but I'm going to wait and watch the episodes and then do a video. And then what else do we got here? Here's one I found on, I think, Dark Side Records. And never heard of the movie before. It's just a DVD. There's nothing special about it as far as a physical release. It's just DVD. But for $4.95 or $5.95, I saw Warren Oates. And I talked about this before in this movie, Cockfighter. It's just such a good movie. If you like movies that are set in like the gritty era of the 70s, this is about a semi-legal sport, the big money sport that's dirty and violent and outside the law. It's all the way outside the law. But if you like Warren Oates and you like those kind of gritty 70s movies, it almost reminds me of Hard Times with Bronson, except it's about cockfighting. But it was just so good. Next, sometimes it's fun to review things from your childhood. Oh, Detour has oh yeah. Hello again, man. And yes, Detour has the meanest woman of all, Ann Savage. Yeah, she's that poor guy. He has that crazy coincidence in the beginning, and then he hooks up with her after that. Man. Sometimes it's fun to review or go back and watch movies that you liked when you were a kid. This was on all the time, so it's like you couldn't help watching it. The greatest movie ever? Okay, well, maybe not. I know Bronco Juggalo reviewed this a while ago. Shockwaves. Okay. Peter Cushing is in it. John Carradine. Brooke Adams, the lovely Brooke Adams. I remember that from when I was a kid. And Luke Halpin. I watched all the special features. Very interesting. Really good release. This is Blue Underground. Even when you take the remote and you switch back and forth, like the ship will come up and then go down, and then you go to something else, and some zombies will come up and go back down. It's really cool just to mess with. But it has its moments. It definitely has its moments. It made an impact on me when I was a kid. I was like, underwater Nazi zombies. It's good. It's got some creepy parts. And Peter Cushing is good. Anybody see that when they were growing up? Probably depends on how old you are. But yeah, that was anytime that came on. Even though it's a little bit slow, as a kid, I always watched it. Next, man, I made a video about this. At the time, I was amazed at how many views I got just for opening and unboxing this with some music in the background. Even a little copyright thing came up. Fantastic soundtrack. This I got basically because I was such a fan of the actor. Yusaku Matsuda, who was in the movie Black Rain with Michael Douglas. He passed away before the movie came out. Very sad. But I was just very intrigued. He was such a powerful performance in that when I found out that he was in a trilogy of gangster movies. Before that, I said, I have to get it. So you can get this for like 25. Sometimes it was on sale for like 20 a while ago. The game trilogy, you got The Most Dangerous Game, the first one, The Killing Game, and then The Execution Game. And he's a hitman, and he doesn't play games. And he's an interesting character, to say the least. He's just... And it's got a book. And then the director, Turo Morikawa, I've really sort of very interested in his films. Poster and a booklet. Yeah, I should be mentioning this extra things that come with these when they come with them. But man, I really dove into that whole world, and I'll definitely rewatch these soon with like commentary just to learn more about it. But if anyone's familiar with Cowboy Bebop, I said, you know what? It's almost like he influenced Spike Spiegel and Cowboy Bebop. And then I started reading about it, and apparently that's like that's generally like an accepted fact that happened. But I don't know if this influenced John Wick directly, but I'm pretty sure this influenced movies, which sort of influenced John Wick. Just the way this guy moves, really good, really good. Has anyone seen any of the game movies? Next, more box sets. So it's like one half of me. I'm still the guy that wants to go look for discounts, But okay, I'll show you. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Before I get into those, for example, I forgot I had this here. Speaking of discounts, from eBay, I got one of those. Found one of those sellers who has like buy 3 get 1 free. Sometimes you can even do better than that. But this counted as 1, same price. So, a couple bucks, really, plus $4 of shipping. So they counted this the same as a single movie. Rocky 2, and Rocky 2 and Rocky 3. I've really been meaning to see Rocky 2 again for the longest time. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers, of course. Rocky 3, I saw by myself in the theater when I was a kid. My dad went to see another movie. I have no idea what he saw, but he dropped me off. I saw Rocky 3. Blew me away at the time. This has been around a while. Thing about this, I don't know when this came out, but man, sturdy cases. Freaking love cases like this. I mean, they're just so sturdy. Yeah. Great deal. My daughter took it upon herself to show my son Rocky a while ago. They were on a little vacation. They didn't have much to do, so they watched Rocky, and then we were talking about it. And my son's familiar with Carl Weathers from like Predator and stuff, so I've been meaning to show him Rocky 2. Oh, and then here's the thing. Sometimes you go to like Dark Side Records. It's all they have new stuff. But if you go to used, sometimes you get used stuff with the plastic still on. And it really looks like the original plastic. And that was the case with this. I grew up with this. Kung Fu the series. But bam. Wrapped in plastic. The plastic was a little warm, but it was still the original plastic. And then even when I opened it, you could tell. As I opened it, it was like creak. It was making, you know what I mean? It had never really been opened. You could tell. So, classic series from my youth. Great guest stars. William Shatner, John Saxon, William Smith, John Carradine, Harrison Ford. There's a lot of great guest stars in that show, if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, so, man, looking forward to going back into that. Anyway, back to the box sets. So yeah, I'll do this one first, even though I bought it after the other one. Big fan of Hong Kong action films. My wife and I used to get VHS tapes from different stores. Some of them were even like not dubbed, but copies. But they would be at like grocery stores. You would go in and buy your Asian groceries and then go rent a few VHS tapes. or buy them. Anyway, so I haven't remembered all the names of the films. And in fact, I don't think I had never seen these two before, but I've kind of gotten back into that era of Hong Kong cinema, 80s and 90s. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I had the chat frozen in place. Oh, you got the Tales from the Dark Side? That's awesome, Mike. You need to get Tales from the Dark Side or Kung Fu. I think you're talking about Tales from the Dark Side, Al. Yeah. It's just so fun. Hammer put out some real bangers back in the day. Yeah, Echo. It's crazy when you go back and read about their early stuff. Their pre sort of horror phase. Even Bela Lugosi was in a film way back when. I know we talked about this when I went on with Mike to talk about Hammer movies, but yeah, really good stuff. And what? Get out of the. Oh, okay. Oh, you need both, actually. I could see an argument for the first three Rockies being the best trilogy. Yes. Yeah, you sure can. I have not seen the recut Rocky 4. I mean, back then, if Stallone was in it, I went to the theater. I didn't see Rocky 5 in the theater. But I remember seeing Rocky 4 in the theater. And 3. But, yeah, those three by themselves, good trilogy. Like for my son, okay, he might be interested in the next two. I don't know if he really wants to keep going. Anyway, Hong Kong action. Long Arm of the Law, parts 1 and 2. See all the mug shots there? Wow, what a great couple of movies. The first one is, there's action in it, but it's just more of a crime drama. Really good booklet. I thought there was a poster. There might be a poster. Is there a poster? Maybe not. I think there was a poster. There's a poster. Yeah, there's a poster. So the poster, it would have been better if they had this similar kind of artwork in the poster, but the poster's okay. But booklet has all kinds of interviews and stuff. Really good stuff. At the time, a lot of these actors were not as well known, but it's just a solid drama. Second one, kind of a different kind of film. Boy, I know you can't see those. But just really good stuff. What can I say? Good crime films from the era. And the other two more box sets. And this is the one video I have is coming up on 10,000 views. So I'm really happy about that. And I did some research into the analytics. And I think it's because I put in parentheses Donnie Yen in it. So we'll start backwards. That was the fourth one. The In the Line of Duty 1 through 4 set. These are by different names. I know Bones has some of them individually, which one of them is called Yes, Madam, for example. Yes, Madam. Okay, so the first one is called Yes, Madam. No, the second one. Okay, I flipped the cover art. Darn. Anyway, there's 4 of these In the Line of Duty movies. They star many of the same people, but some are in different roles. They're just thematically similar. Okay. Again, the posters are okay, but they're not as good as like the art, this kind of artwork that you see in the book. Very substantial book. Very substantial book. All kinds of stuff. So you got Michelle Yeoh in the first 2. Cynthia Rothrock is in the second one with Michelle Yeoh. 3 and 4 have Cynthia Khan. And the fourth one also has Donnie Yen. So then I went back to the third one, which that video has, I think, like 700 views. I'm pretty happy with that. Or that one might be the one that has like 2,000, I think. So I changed the title to In the Line of Duty 3, parentheses, Cynthia Khan, and that did nothing for the algorithm because, Cynthia Khan is not Donnie Yen. But is anyone familiar with these? These are great. And then the last one, it's the big one that I got. And I went ahead and got the second volume based on this. At the time, I had mentioned that there was some damage, and that's why it was discounted. Whoa! About to be some more damage. Some little dents. I kind of noticed. I never really noticed. There's actually kind of a crease all along the top. But whatever. It's going to stay on my shelf. And I'm going to take this in and out, you know? Shawscope Volume 1. I've already watched all 10 of these. I think there's 10. King Boxer. I mean, you got all these classics. Boxer from Shangtong. 5 Shaolin Masters. Shaolin Temple. Mighty Peking Man. So they're not all kung fu movies. This one is about a giant gorilla. Yikes. I've seen it before. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched this version, but it's okay. Challenge of the Masters. Chinatown Kid. That's really good. And 5 Venoms. Classic. Crippled Avengers. I mean, it's got all this stuff. It's got the soundtrack, which is in my car now. 2 CDs. It's a little weird to listen to the soundtrack without the movie. Like for 5 Venoms, it's just a lot of weird sounds. Wee, wee, wee. You know, and I guess that when one of the Venoms comes on screen, they would play this like suspenseful music, but you're just driving in your car and that's all you're hearing. It's a little weird. But the second one also has CDs, so I got to try those. Shawscope, the best of all the scopes. Yes, Professor Macabro in the house. The book is phenomenal. All kinds of stuff. It's a big photo of a lot of the actors back then. I mentioned this before. You got to put on your reading glasses for this print, but you know, they got notes and then they got trivia. And then they even tell you pretty much where they borrowed the music from. A lot of times they just borrowed the music. Even 5 Venoms, they took some of the music from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is a little weird, but it kind of actually fits. Yeah. And they even have, it's very helpful when you start getting into a lot of these other actors, not the more well-known ones. David Chang and T. Long, you know, they have all the different names that they go by because it can get confusing. So that's it. That is, you know, I've got this one in volume 2. They have other compilations out there, but a lot of them have the same films. So I'm good for now on those. Yeah, it's a great box set. I like volume 1 more than the second box. Yeah, volume 3. I mean, there's enough really good movies out there for volume 3, you know. Yeah, I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You know, the funny thing is, Echo, when I saw 5 Venoms when I was a kid, I guess I didn't pick up on the fact that it had music from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, even though Monty Python and the Holy Grail used to be on PBS when I was a kid. They would show that on PBS. So I remember my friend running. He lived 2 houses down. He ran up and he grabbed me. And he's like, "It's on." And we went and watched it at his house. And they say the word shit in it. So that was like a huge thing. You know, I don't know how old we were, but we're watching a movie on PBS and they actually said shit. So it's like, oh. But yeah, then they just took the music and put it in the 5 Venoms. And Terrence is here. What's up, Terrence? I saw that you would, yeah, I've been pretty busy lately with the grandkids and everything. I did get home. I got home at 8 o'clock on the dot last night, but I saw that you guys had canceled. So, you know, understandable, but I've been meaning to go back and rewatch or watch at least part of some of your other episodes. I know you've had some great guests on, like Lady Shah, you know. The funniest joke sketch in Monty Python is my fave. We are the knights who say knee. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, to watch that as a kid, I was dying. And I've watched some people react to it recently. You know, it's like, I don't know if they get everything, but it's just, God, it's funny. Yeah, work gets in the way at times. Yep. For me, it's mostly grandkids at the moment. Going over there soon, actually. But yeah, went to a lion dance for Chinese New Year yesterday with the grandkids. We had my granddaughter made a lantern. with a little tea light, and then we watched The Lion Dance. So a lot of fun. I remember watching. Mike says I remember watching Monty Python on PBS and actually on MTV with the young ones. Yeah, okay. I don't remember Monty Python on MTV, but the young ones, yeah, that was hilarious back then. I didn't love it as much as some, but it was funny. But the show, I saw the show like sometime later, and that's hilarious. I still watch some of the skits, the Twit Olympics and things like that. Oh my gosh, yeah. Young Ones is amazing. Yep. Got Mike. You guys have to check out each other's channels. Yeah. One of the things I want to get into, Mike. So I got another one of those sets, Mike. 20 movie collection. It does. Okay, so it says Streets of Fear. It doesn't say film noir, but I'm just wondering. You got Dick Tracy movies on here. You got Bulldog Drummond movies. I don't know anything about those, so I don't know. You had mentioned the other day, like I said, you were asking or kind of wondering out loud what makes a film noir. That's an interesting conversation. Maybe we can have it someday. I don't know, but cool additions to the collection, Mr. Dan. Thanks, Hardcat Dad. Appreciate it. I've got what am I working on? Sort of. I have a video about the Hammer Frankenstein movies coming out soon. And then I've been these. You're not going to see these on Shaw Scope Volume 3 because they weren't Shaw movies, but from when I was a kid in the afternoon Kung Fu Theater. The Ultimate Dragon collection, the Bruceploitation movies used to be on. Some of them used to be on in heavy rotation when I was a kid, starring Bruce Lee, L.I., and I forget his actual name. I never can pronounce that or remember how to pronounce it, but some of those were actually pretty good. So I've been going back and rediscovering some of those, and so that I have a video about that too that I'm editing. It'll be out eventually, and that's about it. Anybody in the chat have anything coming out they want to mention real quick? Yeah, definitely, Mike. Yeah, we have to do a live stream. We're gonna have to set that up. I keep meaning to try to get a schedule going. Like for me, like do a live stream with a guest once a week or something. So, we could talk about Kung Fu one week and martial arts another week, or it's kind of the same. Film noir another week, and then horror movies. Because that's what my channel's called, after all. But yeah, we should definitely do that soon. Definitely, yeah. Professor been posting lots of random vids. Going to work on another trailer soon. Yeah, your trailers are awesome. Awesome trailers. Figure reviews, Hardcat Dad. Yep. Figure reviews. Waiting on a big physical media box set to come in that I'm super stoked about. Okay, good. I'm waiting for it now. As you know, Larry, Hardcat Dad, I've got, where is it? Boom. I'm not a huge NECA figure guy, but, love my creature. So that one's still in the box. But from my die-cast car collection, my first channel was all about die-cast cars. Huge, I used to get some Jada trucks. So that's how I kind of learned that Jada was getting into the collecting line. So I've been keeping up with the Jada figures. So I still got the Gill Man, the creature glow in the dark one in the box. I have another one of these out of the box because I'm a nut. But so I think they have a couple more to go. Off the top of your head, do you remember? I think they have to do the Mummy. I'm guessing they're going to do the Mummy and the Phantom of the Opera. That's what I'm guessing, because I think the last two were the Wolfman. They did 4, and then they did 2. Then they did the Wolfman and the Invisible Man. So I think I'm kind of waiting on that. The Mummy and probably the Phantom of the Opera, I'm guessing, is what they're going to come out with. And then I got to pull back from the figures. I can't do too much. Maybe a McCready figure from The Thing or something like that. But yeah, the glow in the dark one was like, it came out. And again, another thing that like it came out and I'm thinking, oh, should I get that? And then I went to FYE, boom, right there. I was like, that's weird. And someone else said the same thing. Someone else also got it. So yeah, it gets pricey. Yes, it can. It can. Thank goodness Funko Pops do nothing for me. Nothing at all. I don't get them. I have no desire. I just don't have any desire. The only one I ever thought was like, I mean, some of them are okay, but there was a Cthulhu one that if you took it out of the box, you wouldn't even know it was a Funko Pop because who knows how large Cthulhu's head is, you know. I would actually collect the Toonie Terrors before those, but you know, I'm not going to get into those either. You know, got apart from my Ultramans. This one, my granddaughter played with this one. The head is about to come off, but apart from my Ultraman figures, I don't, you know, I'm not really going to get into figures too much. Oh, the Mezco one has a, yeah. So Hardcat Dad reviewed a Mezco glow Creature from the Black Lagoon that also has a glow in the dark version. Yeah, that's where it gets dangerous because I've even got. I like glow in the dark things. I'm a sucker. You know, I saw these at Walmart. You know, every night, glow in the dark Yul Brenner looks at me when I go to sleep. I mean, so, but I have another one of those that's just a regular slipcover. So I have two. But I am old enough to have grandkids, man. It's sad, but they're very young. They're very young. I'll put a video up on my Instagram that goes with this channel about what we did yesterday. It was fun, but yeah, time flies. And the other kids, I've had my boys on the channel with me. I want to get the girls on because I've got movies. Around Christmas time, I started thinking about movies that we could all enjoy together. Not all of us at once, but like my one daughter might like this movie and my other daughter might kind of like this kind of movie because I kind of know what they're into. So I'm going to be doing that hopefully sort of in the spring. Westworld, you know, when that came on TV back then, mandatory viewing. And I believe that Arnold sort of modeled the Terminator's movement after Yul Brenner in that movie. Great movie. Now, man, if you're interested in sort of a classic movie, I don't know if you've seen Westworld, but if you're interested in like a classic sort of sci-fi, it's more of a sci-fi, I guess, but has some horror elements that kind of influenced other movies. Westworld is a good one to watch. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's got Yul Brenner. I mean, it kind of helps if you're familiar with Yul Brenner from old Westerns because he takes that kind of character and it's like a version of his character from the Magnificent Seven. It's an evil robot version of that. But yeah, if you're looking to you know, try something that was sort of influential, that you might enjoy that one. But great movie. Anyway, guys. Oh wait, Toonie Terrors. I only have a select few, just like Funko. Okay, yeah. Okay. Larry agrees with me. Westworld is great. Is there a Larry? Is there a Yul Brenner gun? What do they call him in the movie? The gunfighter, the gunslinger, I think. They have a figure for that? That would be because you could have the face come off. That would be awesome. You could have like the removable face. You know, you could have a pistol, a rifle, a removable face, and then the burn up face at the end. You could have like two different heads and a removable face. That would be cool. Yeah. Larry, they need to hire us, I think. That's what they need to do. Anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And check my Instagram, of course, for more information. And you know, I've got videos coming out soon. But next time I'll try to get somebody to come on with me. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Hope everyone's doing well. And I'll see you guys later.